Hello, I'm Tim. Thursday sub for the Pagan Perspective. Video's up a little bit late, but before Friday's video, so hopefully that's okay. Not quite 12 hours late, so it's still Thursday somewhere in the world. 12 hours? Yeah, let's go with that. So this week's rather, question is, or topic is to do with having deities, patron deities, matron deities from different pantheons. I think unless you have a deep connection to a particular pantheon, by either like maybe nationality or some other practice, it seems to me, through experience, people I know personally, that having matron deities from different pantheons is relatively common. It seems to be. Someone I know well works with Hecate and Freya a lot, for example. So I think Hecate is Greek. I think. If I'm wrong, I apologise. But obviously Freya being Norse. I know some people who work with, at least one person who works with like Celtic and Irish deities, but also with like South American. So there is lots of range. Personally, we've got Bert and Ernie, and Chester, horse chestnut. So we can see autumn is coming. I love oak. These go down almost 4 inches into the pot. This fell about 1 inch. I'm not going off topic. I'll get back in a second. So these are my little mates. I've got lots of oak trees that I grew from seed. I grew all of these from seed. They're mostly outdoor plants. I mentioned in my last video that I've got a huge oak tree sapling, first year growth. So these are just over 1 foot tall, and the fellow downstairs is over 2 feet tall. That's a special oak. He lives on my altar. These are part of an experiment. I want to grow trees inside, in the house. I want to see how they do. I've got lots of window space on the south side of the house, so that's handy. When I am working with plants, when I am feeding the trees, when I am watching them grow, sometimes I'm thinking of Frey, especially when I'm thinking of them overcoming obstacles. Obviously with his relationship to the giants, and the giants obviously in some ways being kind of representations of obstacles to be overcome. When I'm seeing seedlings popping out of the ground, I'm thinking more fertility, new growth, and I might be thinking of Frey by one of his other names, Ing. Sorry, I'll just mute that. Sometimes, if I'm looking at a tree or a plant, one of these fellas, I'm sure there's a little centipede in this pot somewhere with Bert and Ernie, I might think of Canunos. I almost said Gunungagap. Gunungir? The cauldron with Canunos in it. I'm terrible at foreign words. But yeah, the image of Canunos in the cauldron, where he's surrounded by animals and whatnot. And occasionally I'll be seeing these things and be thinking of Pan. Generally, I think they all are different aspects of the same part of life. I obviously am a tree person. I'm an outdoorsy person. I like nature, as I think probably we all do on this channel. But so I can't keep my eyes off them. I love trees. I sometimes just sit here and look. It's almost like they're pets. They're pets. Point being, I think that depending on how you see deity in the world around you, how you feel a connection to deity, I think that once you learn a lot about them, I think that different deities just show up on their own. I mean, literally, as I was just saying, Cernunnos, Pan, Frey, Ing, different name for the same person, but I feel it differently. Same god, rather. If I learnt more about fertility and nature gods from different pantheons, maybe some of them would pop up on occasion. Now I know some people feel very close to specific traditions, so I think, oh god, I'm going to get names wrong. Angelos has a Hellenic path, so I would imagine, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but this is just what I would imagine. I wouldn't think that he would be seeing Norse gods all over the place or South American gods all over the place. I could be wrong. I know people who are very much into druidic reconstructionist type paths. Again, I doubt they would be seeing Norse gods all over the place, South American gods all over the place, Hellenic gods all over the place, because their practice is more tied to a particular tradition, whereas I think that for me and for other people I know, it's more attached to elements of nature, the world around us. It could be partially because I'm British, and for the longest time we either decided that the world was ours, or more recently that being British is bad, and therefore, or there isn't really much of a thing of being British. All Britishness is stealing from other people. I think it's possibly the case, definitely reflected in our education system, that there isn't really much to being British other than invading other places. I think it probably leads to less of a sense of local connection, maybe. I don't know. Not getting political, it's just my observations. Obviously you've got people who feel local connection, but I'm not going to get into that. Point being, yeah, I think I mostly connect with Norse, Celtic, European gods. Not very many. As I said, like Pan, Cernunnos, Frey, Odin, though I don't really think you probably want to get his attention too much. I think he's more of an example to follow. Sacrifice for knowledge. Wisdom, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so here's Bert, Ernie and Chester's YouTube debut. I'd ask them what gods they follow, but I'll think about. Not sure they'll answer me. Maybe they will later on. Anyway, that is today's Thursday sub video for the Pagan Perspective, and I'll see you next week. Blessed be.